It's official, Commanders fans. You have an official full-time channel here for your Washington Commanders here at Chat Sports. And if you're wondering what exactly that means, number one, you're going to get longer Commanders videos, okay? At least 8-minute videos, just like this one, every single day, or most days anyway. And then you get more community interaction. We're going to be putting up a bunch of stuff in our community tab on the channel from now on. And of course, you get a dedicated host. And your dedicated host here on this channel will be yours truly. My name is Jack Sperry. I will be your host here on the Commanders Report. I look forward to going on this journey with you here over these next couple of months. I really do appreciate you guys. Go ahead and click that subscribe button right now if you want to join our Commanders family here at Chat Sports. Welcome in, comrades. My name is Jack Sperry, and this is the Commanders Report. Now, today, I'm going to be covering the latest NFL draft and trade rumors surrounding the Washington Commanders. Okay, so now we're going to get into this. ESPN's NFL draft predictions for the Commanders. Can't wait to break it down with y'all. First thing that they discuss is, will the Washington Commanders trade up for a quarterback? This has been a hot topic on Commanders Twitter lately. This is what John Kine from ESPN had to say about it. They believe in quarterback Sam Howell enough that it's unlikely that they will trade up for a quarterback, especially not in the top 10. It's also unlikely they'll draft a quarterback in the first round unless a top guy unexpectedly falls into their lap. And then going on this topic here, John Kime says the Commanders like Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, although if he's sitting there in the second or third round, I could see them drafting him. And he continues to go on here by saying they are reluctant to relinquish a lot of draft capital and would rather use that to build out the roster around Howell. If he fails, the organization can try again next year with a stronger squad and a new quarterback. Now, for me, guys, I think that Hendon Hooker and a bunch of all these other quarterbacks, I think it's a very interesting topic because the Commanders could have a new quarterback here very soon. Now, I don't think that the Commanders are going to be trading up like Kine says in his article. These guys are probably going to be going in the top 10 here. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud likely going to be going number 1 and number 2. And Will Levis and Anthony Richardson are just a bit too risky, in my opinion, for the Commanders to trade up there into the top 10. But Hendon Hooker is a very interesting prospect coming out of the University of Tennessee. He is 6'4", 218 pounds. He completed almost 70% of his passes last year, over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions before his Heisman campaign was unexpectedly and really tragically put to an end after he tore his ACL. He won't even be able to hit the field for whatever team that drafts him until around August. Now, my scouting report on him is kind of a mixed bag because he's a really, really tough guy to evaluate. On the one hand, he is really, really polished. He's got the best footwork out of anybody in this year's draft class, period. He just has no wasted movement. It is a quarterback's coach's dream in that department. He's also pretty darn good when it comes to the mental processing side of the game. He's got good arm strength and good athleticism. This guy's not going to be like a Lamar Jackson or a Justin Herbert in either one of those categories, but he is somebody with plus arm strength, plus athleticism. He's going to be, he's a good athlete is what I should say there. But the cons here, his age, he's 25 years old. The deep ball accuracy has had some inconsistencies in the past. Of course, that those injury concerns when it comes to the ACL is definitely no laughing matter. And then the big thing for me, guys, is can he operate an NFL offense? At the Tennessee Volunteers, they ran like 15 passing plays as compared to an NFL offense that runs like at least 50. Like, is he going to be able to take on that kind of workload and be able to mentally process the way that he did at Tennessee? He knew those 15 plays that they ran in Tennessee like the back of his hand, which is why he had so much success. But there is the question of, can he make that transition into the NFL game and into NFL playbooks? So here's what I would do when it comes to the quarterbacks. I wouldn't take one, especially early. I'm going to stick with Jacoby Brissett and Sam Howell. I'm going to let those guys battle it out, and then I'm going to use these early draft picks to build a roster with as much talent as humanly possible around them. Jacoby Brissett signs him to a one-year contract this year worth $10 million. You drafted Sam Howell in the 5th round last year, showed some good things at the end of last season. I say let these guys duke it out. Whoever comes out on top is the starter, and then you try to build this roster so you can have a really solid defense, really good offense around this quarterback, and you could try to make a run for the playoffs. Ron Rivera's job seriously does depend on it at this point. So you're the GM here. Let me know what you guys would do. Would you draft Hendon Hooker in round 2 if he is available for your Washington Commanders? Type Y if you would, or type N if you wouldn't. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break here on the channel, just go ahead, get into the comment section, find that pinned comment, and answer today's question. All right, now the next question here that they discuss here in this ESPN article is who will be the top draft targets for the Washington Commanders in round 1 and round 2. We've already talked about Hendon Hooker, but they talk about 2 other prospects here that they're hearing that the Commanders are seriously interested in. First, let's talk about Dawand Jones. This comes from Jordan Reed from ESPN. Commanders have studied the top offensive linemen in this class. Offensive tackle is a possibility in round 1. Dawand Jones out of Ohio State is a name I keep hearing in connection with the team, which has done a lot of work on his evaluation. Continues to say about Dawand Jones here, while the middle of round 1 might seem high for Jones right now, don't be surprised if he lands in that range. And then in round 2, Jordan Reed says that the Commanders are interested in cornerback from Georgia, Kelly Ringo. This is what he has to say. Cornerback is another area the Commanders could address potentially on day 2. I've heard they are high on Kelly Ringo from Georgia. Coming into the 2022 season, Ringo was viewed as a potential first-round pick, but he's likely to fall to round 2 now. And he continues to say here, he would fit well in Washington's zone-heavy scheme, playing on the other side of Benjamin St-Juste. Now, I actually think that if they end up getting Kelly Ringo, he's going to be on the other side of Kendall Fuller, not Benjamin St-Juste. But Dawand Jones, let's go over these guys one at a time here. Dawand Jones, coming out of Ohio State, is an absolute beast of a human being, man. 6'8", nearly 360 pounds. He broke the record at the combine for wingspan, so this guy has zero size concerns whatsoever. In fact, it's probably his biggest pro, right? 6'8", 360, all the arm length that you want, that's a great thing. But the other thing about that is that he's also a really intelligent player. He picks up stunts really well. He knows what to do. He knows what pass rushers are trying to do against him, and he does a good job in countering. And of course, with that size, he's got incredible power in the run game and in his hands. If he gets his hands on you, man, as a pass rusher, you are done. But some of the cons here, foot speed, of course. When you're that size, you're just not going to be as fast. That's just the way it goes. Same thing with the balance, man. When you're 6'8", 360, it's tough to have balance. I don't know if it's like terrible, like as bad as Daniel Falele. If you remember him from last year, it's not as bad as that guy coming out last year. It's pretty good for his size, but it's still an overall con. And it's not a left tackle for me, guys. I think he's straight up right tackle prospect in a power blocking scheme. You take a look at what the Commanders are looking at right now. Personally, guys, I'm looking at offensive tackle, and you sign Andrew Wiley to that bigger contract to play right tackle. To me, I don't want to draft a guy in the first round to just straight up replace him. I want Andrew Wiley to play next year because the Commanders, they signed him this year. So you might as well play him. And then Charles Leno Jr., I think, is a little bit underrated. There's some draft pundits that want to replace him. I actually think he's pretty darn decent. I want to keep him there. So at the end of the day, I'm good with keeping Charles Leno Jr. and Wiley in the starting lineup. I don't want to go get an offensive tackle in round 1. Maybe you get one maybe like in the middle rounds, maybe in the later rounds. But if you're going to take an offensive lineman early, I would rather go interior offensive line, maybe get a guard or something to kind of bolster this offensive line for whoever your quarterback is going to be in 2023. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think right now. Is offensive tackle a need for the Commanders? Type OT in the comments for yes, or type NOT for no. For me, I don't think it's that big of a need, but I want to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Then in round 2, Kelee Ringo here. Now, I think that Kelee is a very interesting prospect. I think he's more of a boomer bust kind of guy coming out of Georgia. He's got great size, guys. 6'1", 207 pounds is what he weighed in at. at the combine. The speed is incredible. Straight line speed 4.36. The physicality he plays with in his game is just straight up awesome, man. And then the run defense is just you're not gonna have an issue when it comes to run defense, when it comes to screens. He's gonna be a solid tackler for you at the NFL level. But the big cons for me, guys, hip fluidity and short area quickness. This guy can run fast, but he has a tough time stopping. And stopping is just as important for an NFL cornerback as being fast. Like, it's the same thing for receivers. If you can stop on a dime, like, you're going to be a really, really good player in the National Football League. Unfortunately, Ringo is kind of lacking in this department, being that big and being that fast. It's really tough for him to stop. So some of these guys in the league, like a Devontae Adams, for example, that can just stop like in a flash. He's going to lose him in coverage, plain and simply. I think he needs to be in a press-heavy system. And personally, guys, not personally, it's just a fact. Ron Rivera's defense, it's not press at all. Like, it's all off zone coverage. I'm just not sure if it's a fantastic fit. Now, he does have the physical attributes you look for, so he definitely has some boom potential here. But because of that lack of stopping ability and the tight hips and all these different things, there's a reason why this guy is falling to round 2. He has a ton of bust potential as well. So if you draft him, you're definitely taking a risk. But there's no doubt about it. The Commanders need help at the cornerback position. Kendall Fuller had a really, really solid year in 2022, in my opinion. You bring in Cameron Dantzler. You still have Benjamin St. Juste, who's still pretty decent. Danny Johnson's shown some good things throughout his career. It'll be interesting to see not only if the Commanders are going to be taking a cornerback, but when. If they want to take one early in the draft, these are the top 5 guys that I would target if I were Ron Rivera and the Washington Commanders. Christian Gonzalez is a perfect fit for this defense. It's pretty much the same exact defense he ran at Oregon. It's all off-zone coverage. He will fit in perfectly. He's the number 1 guy. Then you got Devin Witherspoon, who played more press than Gonzalez did in college, but he can do whatever you want. He's got some of the best instincts I've ever seen evaluating cornerbacks for the NFL draft. He's a fantastic player as well. Deonte Banks, incredibly intelligent, has played every coverage in the book in college. He's going to be great as well. Joey Porter Jr., someone we've talked about on the show quite a bit, I think would be a pretty decent fit here in Washington. He's a good player as well. And then Emmanuel Forbes, he's going to be skinny. He weighed in 166 pounds at the combine. He's not going to be able to play in press in the NFL, but that's okay because the Commanders almost never go into press. I think he'd be a good fit and a first-round draft target for the Washington Commanders. So let me know. Pick one of these guys. So if you had to choose between DeJuan Jones and Kelly Ringo, the 2 picks that ESPN has for the Commanders in this article, you got to pick one, guys. Do you want DeJuan Jones or Kelly Ringo? Type DJ if you want DeJuan Jones, or if you want Kelly Ringo, type KR. All right, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. My name is Jack Sperry. I'm going to be the brand new host here of the Commanders Report. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my main page, I am at Jack_Sperry. And I've also started a brand new Commanders page on Twitter just for this community. So if you give me a follow at Sperry _Hogs, I will give you a follow back. So that is my promise to you. Let's really grow this community to be something that's really, really fun for all of you guys, not only here on YouTube, but also on Twitter. I appreciate you, comrades. I will see you guys later. Peace.